That button should be better. That is the bizarrest thing. Sometimes it works, but welcome everybody. 1 minute it's on, the next minute Windows takes over and does something weird behind the scenes. But what we will do now is flick across to the Oaks. So here we are. I probably would have more chance of hearing, actually, if I put some headphones on. Adds for a bit of ambience. So, yeah, there we are. So we've flicked over into April, and I've just started the seeder on here. We will put the time up there because we need to get, I finished the ploughing off on this field so that we could in fact get the oats down. So that's what we're doing. There's a little bit of extra seed by the field, but we're definitely going to need more. But to your point, John, it's helpful when people are in chat. You know what's on their mind. I think sometimes, and I perfectly get, a lot of people run a stream in the background while they're playing. I do that a reasonable amount myself. So that doesn't always mean that they're able to chat, because it's not necessarily conducive. Some people just don't like to chat, but I find it really helpful to have the interaction. So what you can see is I've filled up another trailer combo, and if we have a look at our little tool thoughtfully provided by Mark Haythornwaite, we will see that the silage price is coming down, but that's just how life is. And we're going to Fisher's again, which I'm pretty sure is over here. Is that Fisher's bale sale? It is. So let's tootle on over there. Because the main thing we want to get done today, we might have a look at the grass. G'day, Farm Sim Brisco. Very well. And Jody Beard is in the house as well. Welcome along. So let's just have a look at how the grass is going here. My cover crop seems to have taken a long time to ripen. Okay, so we can take a cut off this, which I think, given the size of the field, we're going to have to, because we need to get the next crop in there. There we go. Seeding is happening. Yeah, so the current plan is to put some corn in there, not because we're going to harvest it as corn, but we're going to take it as chaff. So we're really trying to maximize our silage production. And we're just going to see how that goes. Now, where am I trying to go here? I want to go around the dog leg. A little bit on the slow side. But I think, judging by the size of that field, by the time we actually cut it and prep it to get a crop in it, we're going to need most of April and May, which is our only window to plant it. So quick question, what is the FS22 interest rate? That's a very good question. From memory, it's 4% is the standard. If I get out of the way here, can I, is it Alt M, Control M? thought it was maybe shift M. So I use the back management mod, which allows me to change it. So in this particular case, we've got a $950,000 loan and 8%. And we're playing on normal here too. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure that the interest rate actually changes on hard. Where are we? We're on normal here. Basically the place I got to was that Farm Sim Brisco was that the financial side of the game was crudely implemented, let's put it that way, and that if I wanted it to be a bit more realistic and have some control, I needed to use the bank manager mod, and even then the bank manager mod stops a fair way short. But at least it gives me the ability to flex the interest rate, which I do on pretty much all of my maps. So even if I don't, like in a video series, if I don't recall, reference it all that often, I still tend to change the setting if I've gone significantly with loans. It's a pet peeve of mine that the leasing construct that they use on here is so miserable, and that the only mod that's come out to adjust it to allow you to buy it actually makes it worse. So instead of there being a penalty for leasing, it turns it into an advantage in that you can, in effect, like a lay-by scheme where you can take the equipment up front and then pay for it as you feel like it, with no premium involved, which just strikes me as bizarre. Righty ho, so let's tootle in here and sell the, you need a $35 million loan. That's going to be hefty. There is a quirk with the bank manager mod from memory. Now let's just see. Let's drive in here. The quirk, I have heard reports, I haven't seen it myself, that when you, Mark Haythorne might actually be a good person to talk to about it. When you repay the loan, if you repay it using, if you've got a loan higher than the max and you repay it here, I think it gets slightly tangled up. So all I make sure I do is turn on the switch. So if you go to, gotta get out of the cab to do that. Talk to me. Make sure the adjust balance switch is on, and then when you adjust the loan in here, it adjusts the amount in your account, and I find it works fine. Oop, we need to empty the trailer, so we're at 25,000. We need 13,000 out of this trailer. I don't think we're going to make it, which is a bit of a bummer. B and I. that's certainly a big loan, I'll give you that. And you won't need much of an interest rate to get you into trouble. Oh, now speaking of that, one of the things that I did, I'm thinking of changing and having at least two Brits in the chat at the minute. Now, where is it here? Tools. Container. Okay, I gotta find, is it in farmhouses? No. Decoration others. Got lots of stuff here. I put it, there they are. So I've added the daily deductions mod. And what I'm thinking is the way I'd prefer to pay for the kids. So it's appropriate that they draw a salary. From what I can understand, and I'm curious in your input, but I think a reasonable salary for family members who get free board and the like would be somewhere in the order of 15 or 1600 quid a day. I'm not sure exactly what the minimum wage is in the UK. So when day by day, I mean a month. So if you guys have got any clues in that area, it would be much appreciated. Because what I'm thinking is just having a shelf in the shed near the house, and we'll put the deductions tags in for each of the workers, and that way I can turn off. I have turned off now auto drive, and I can turn off course plate wages. So it just becomes a every day when we roll over, the costs arrive. I'm thinking that's a somewhat realistic way to do it, but it also means that you don't get into that crazy position if you've gone ducked into the negative briefly, you can't hire them. $150 quid a day, so that'd work out. So I get it for a good tradie, but these are low-end workers and their family. But 150 quid a day is sounds high, right? Because if they work a 20-day month or 18-day month or whatever it is, that'd work out at over 2,000 a month each. And I thought your minimum wage was a bit lower than that, which is kind of the bit that I was going for at the moment. Let's 10 quid an hour, right? So that's about, well, let's say 80 quid a day. Okay, that's better. So let's go with that. So, and keeping in mind that there's food and board because they're living on the farm, and they're not wealthy. I think it's reasonable then that let's go with say 1,600 a day. So if I go back to the main, we'll put the stuff next to the workshop. We'll find a spot down there. Let's go and have a look. We want to go down here somewhere. Where can we make our little... Oh, because they're placeables, I can't place them in... Can I place them and move them? That's interesting. We'll put them over here. So do a little bit of landscaping, painting, some concrete tiles. Next size up, that'll do. Just like so. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm kind of treating this as their full-time employees. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going for an approximation. But I was just trying to get away from that. So if I put down one oil drum for each of them. There's 5. One of those. So it's even, that can's even smaller. And 1,600 would be one of those. Perfect. So now I just go through. If I had a thing, I could write the wage board on the site, but there's our wages. And so that should now kick in at the end of the day. That's exactly right, Farm Sim. So the big one is $1,000 a day. The next one's $500 a day. And the small block is $100 a day. So I've just got 5 sets of 1,600. So now at the end of the day, what we should see is an $8,000 debit, 5 16s, to our account on top of the interest. But what we'll do is when we go into course play settings, driver wages are now 0. So instead of having money dribbling out through the day and also being in the position where you can't hire, that's a month in game. Yeah, that's right. So every time the month rolls over, it should pay. And the advantage of it being in 3 chunks, look, if it works out to be really ridiculous and we can't keep on top of it, then we can knock it back. Similarly, we can go the other way. Now, what I wanted to get done today, but we're short of cash, so we need to get it done in this game day. Mark Haythornwaite talked to me about, or suggested in the last stream, that the belt system I needed was this one. But we haven't quite got 38,000 yet, and I don't think we've been lucky enough. No, there's nothing in the equipment sales. So we'll just have to keep moseying along. and put you... but we're going to need to do another load of silage at some point. So let's just put you over here out of the way. And let's go and get a mower going. Now we know that to do mowers we need to be a little bit clever. Because we haven't got enough horsepower on the tractor to run all the mowers in one go. Not biased. It's entirely reasonable, and it's a good sign, right? Because if I'd feel really good about that, because if you, it would be very easy to have the other situation, right, where every time you turned a corner or went to a different field, something hit you in the face that wasn't right. So the fact that that's not occurring on such a big map with so much detail on it is a credit to you, and you should feel really good about it. Oh, what am I doing? I gotta go back. And it may also put you in a fairly rare minority, because I have the sneaking suspicion that many map makers don't actually play their own maps. Because if they did, they'd find a lot of issues. Now, what we want to do here... should have followed over with the other tractor, is we need to be a little bit creative again. Okay, so if you put this down, and, B, and Alt X. No, I don't want Alt X. Turn you on and follow that guy. And we want, okay, that's interesting. So we can't do it that way unless I've got to, wonder what settings it's using. Private wages are 0, but it's not charged. So that's interesting. So I need to I need to think about this. I can't do it while I've got a hired worker, I don't think. I might have to sort that out at the end of the stream, but I think I've got to... The problem is that under follow me, it still charges me for workers. So, how do I go in and fix that? I think the worker mod that I run, which allowed me to set the names, allows me to set steels helpers left shift 0. No, it's not going to let me go in there. Okay, I'm going to have to sort that separately. So, nonetheless, let us put you on the same course, play course. What did we decide? This is... We'll do it the other way. So you are going to be... now I need to... It's pretty much a headland around the outside. So if we think out loud and say, create a job. Can I see? I can. Okay. Let's get out of there. Let's go here. So if I define a field, am I back? Why can't I create a field? Draw a custom field. There we go. So if I draw a field, which is basically the edge of the grass, which won't be perfect, but it'll be a reasonable approximation. And we save that as, that's temp 68, right, okay. And so now if I jump back in and create a job, and we want, I don't want that course. I want, how do I tell it? Build position. That's the one I want. Open course, right. So now we're at 8.6 meters, which is fine. Let's do, they really need one headland, I think. Start work on the headland. Sharp corners. Generate the course. Perfect. And you can start. Oh. Let's go and get you some maintenance first. Oh no, you're right, but you are just short on maintenance. You've got plenty of fuel. It's the cedar that just ran out of seed. We'll fix that in a second. Oh, am I set to nearest? I don't want to... I wanted it to go to first. That's a very good point. What I actually need to do, though, is I need to... copy the course. And then when I go back to there, I should be able to copy you and go to first waypoint, and away you should go. Put you up at 8.6 and you should be fine. Let's see how we did. Oh, looking promising. On the right line. Lovely. Okay, let's go get some seed. You're actually making pretty good progress through this field. Excellent. Let's not drive over our freshly seeded area. Another tank won't finish it, but it'll maybe 2 tanks. But the thing is, we'll get a cut off that grass so that we can then move forward onto preparation. We're going to be constrained for larger tractors. How much seed's in there? Not much. So let's just duck back to the yard and pick up fill on the seed. Because my thought is, with the grass field that we planted here and the one that we cut in order to fill the mortgage clamp, where am I going? I'm going in over there. We can let them grow another month till, so that we get the full cut rather than just the first cut, because we're going to keep those as grass fields. Oh my goodness. That's just shocking pun there. And just weave through all this equipment that some clown abandoned in the middle of the yard. Looks like I didn't quite have the line right at this end of the field. Never mind. It'll do the basic job. I can always go around and tidy it up. Where were we up to? We're up the other end, coming in this direction. No, yes, we were. That's about where we want to be. Nearest waypoint, and off we trottle. Feeling really downbeat he was. Couldn't get into the sweet rhythm. That's looking like a little bit of grass. This field's big enough. We only sowed it as a cover crop, so it's going to take them a little while to cut it. Why haven't I seen the little tractor? Oh, there's the little tractor. Okay. It was the little tractor I could see. Yeah, we're gonna have a crash. We're gonna have a crash. Arrived just in time. The blue courseplay markers are brilliant. Really helpful. Oh, you've put you back on. I don't want you on that one, do I? You picked up the wrong waypoint. Let's try that one. That's better. So they look like they're chuffing along all right. Now, this is where we could really do with another tractor, just like this one. Dad jokes are an important part of life. We can put the second plough there. Now you do need fuel and maintenance. Maintenance will have to wait. Fuel we can do. So we'll fill up with fuel. There we go. Now we need a windrower. And if I put the temporary course into you, you should be able to do the same deal. And the other two are far enough ahead. We should be able to manage this. First waypoint. Your work width is 8.6. There we go. And you should start somewhere around about here. Probably not quite 8.6, but it'll do. We haven't got exactly the right gear for what we want to do, but we're pretty close, so we'll make it work. That's a decent swath. Yeah, it is very brilliant. And once you start using your imagination in terms of how you can make it work, even better. So there we go. We've got 3 tractors working on the field. I'm pretty pleased with that. So that will get the grass cut. Our seeding is progressing. I did throw some, if we have a look at the state of our fields, I did throw some fertilizer on here. So we didn't have quite enough, but I did fertilize the grass, and just quickly, just because the difference between being fertilized and not was 40% yield. So I figured we'd got the fertilizer from that we bought last time, so let's throw it on and pick that up in grass, because in another month this grass will have fermented and we can start turning that into cash. G'day Scooter, welcome along. Great to have you in. Do you have to pay top? Do you have to pay? Do you have to pay top to get the scores? Ah, you have to do the soil sampling in order to have anything to get scores against. So we did that last time. So you can see, we can now see our soil types, and so these fields are largely crappy. The area where we've built the shed, or the top end of this field, is probably the best end. So if anything, we put the sheds at the wrong end. But that's just how it is. Looks like this field here might be pretty reasonable, 69. And we don't know what 70. Let's have a look. You can get an idea what they're going to be like, what the average is from this field before you buy it. Yes, that's correct, John Senior. You can also do that with the Toad bale wrapper. Same deal. Just leave the bales on the floor. A tractor with a bale wrapper will wander around and find the scattered bales and wrap them. It can get a little bit tangled up. But yeah, it works really well. Now, I'm just trying to remember, there was something that I found in Courseplay during the week that struck me as being really cool that I didn't know. that I wanted to share, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was at the minute. Let me open the course play menu and see if it comes back to me. So what I found with the bail functions in course play, it's very field dependent. So sometimes keeping them within the field, like in order to pick up a bail, I'll often wander through boundaries, which can be a bit tricky. Now, what was I trying to do in course play yesterday? In autodrive. Oh, one thing I learned, if you can do it, I'd love to know, but you can't do multiple level folders, which is just on a busy map like this is a bit annoying. It'd be really great if I could put all the farms that we're not using into their own folders without losing all the detail that Farmer Ed's put underneath. But I'll have to see. It'll come back to me at some point, I'm sure. There was definitely a couple of neat characteristics of auto drive that I just went, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that was one of them. So if you go into, turn the thing on, you get your busy map. If all the dots get in the way, you can use your right control button to turn them on and turn them off. And if you've turned them off, you can use your left control button if you just want to see where they are, which I thought was pretty cool. Well, my auto drive has been extended because I've built the auto drive courses for these bunkers and the main yard. So that's why there'll be lots more auto drive icons in this area than in Ed's, because on the base map, there's nothing here, right? But yeah, so just right control turns those buttons off. Oh, that's right. And these two icons here, the speed ones, one of the bottom one I think is in the field and the top one is on the road, or the other way around. But anyway, one of them is the speed limit in fields and the other is the speed limit on roads. So you can set those to be different. If you were wondering. So there you go. We must be getting pretty low on seed, so let's grab our loading tractor. Turn you off and delete bucket. And you can take some seed across to the other fields where it's happened. Good having 5 kids to sort. Oops. Let's try and stay live in the window. As do I, John. I've just wondered why there was two. I was never, and then I saw it and I thought, oh, that's what that's about. Go and get a bag of seed. Always good before we drive over there. Which one's which? Oh, those were the other two things that I figured out. So you might recall in last week's stream we sent a vehicle to the shop from here and it got stuck in the yard on the main Oaks farm. So it turns out Patricia Mandici, welcome along. Yeah. That's exactly right, John. That's exactly right. If you send a vehicle from the bottom part of the map up to the store, the route on this auto drive course, the route it's going to take will put you through the Oaks farmyard. And so in order to stop vehicles traversing there, because there's actually a gate that comes standard as closed, you need to designate the routes through the farmyard as local roads, and then it will drive round. So if you're encountering that, you don't need to change anything if you're not having that routing problem, but every time I sent a vehicle to the store it was getting stuck and I couldn't figure out why. The second one was if you look at settings for whoa, everybody's stopped doing what? Everybody's looking at, it's really bizarre. Why are we stopped, people? What's your problem? There you go. If we look at vehicle settings, collision height over the ground, mine was set to 1.25. Now I don't know if that was a default. It says here the default's 2, but it might have been a setting I encountered from another map. What I found was that on some of the narrower lanes and things, the vehicles were just stopping for no apparent reason, so I upped this to 1.5 and all the vehicles are working much more reliably. So that's a key. So yeah, Farm Sim, the tool that's really good for that is the local toggle point as a side road. Left shift and click on the point, and that'll at the point where the first point after the deviation, and that'll mean it'll use it as a side road for the purposes of route calculation. So tiering your roads, that works really effectively. Have I got things on or off? I've got them on. Yeah, the thing that struck me was that it was just such a small change. It wasn't, was only one. We timed that pretty well for the seed. It was only one gradation, 250, and it made all the difference on the main roads. Can I fill you from the side? Let's find out. Yes, I can. I'm quite impressed with this little Massey, and the reach on these on the front end is terrific. Nearest waypoint, off you go. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't everywhere. It was literally just certain sections of the road. I actually figured it was the hedges that were. So if the hedges narrowed in to the resolution, or tree branches just fell into the box that the vehicle was using, that just caused it to stop. But who knows? Might as well put you at the gate, although 31 litres isn't going to do very much, is it? Pop you down. Worst case, if he finishes the field, I can just pop it in the seeder on the way past. Anyway, our mowing is progressing. If we had a big tractor, we could start picking up the grass. Well, there you go. Farm Sim Brisco's all over it. All over it. For those others that are in chat that don't know, this map is the creation of Farm Sim Brisco. So if you've got any questions about the map, you've got him sitting there watching along. So feel free to fire away. Now, where did I leave those seeds? Yes, exactly. What am I doing? Let's just leave you there for the minute. Right. So pretty good yield in there. How much silage have we got left? And just do a save. So silage, we have 210,000 litres, so that's pretty good. So we need to load up, which I don't want to spend the stream loading up. I want to try and collect off this field. How close are we getting? But there's still lots. Why do I feel like they've done it again? That is really bizarre. Oh, I wonder. It's because of these up and downs. The widths I've got set are just a fraction wide. They can't pass each other in the up and down. So let's just pause you there. How cool. I don't want to mess with it because I just need to let the first one get more than a thingy ahead. And when he gets to the end and turns, then I can go. Stable guys, welcome along. Great to have you in. How are you doing this fine day? Friday morning if you're in Oz. It is FS22 indeed. UK, in US it is probably Thursday evening, or Europe even for that matter. So we'll let you go. Another one. So hopefully you've got to let you get further ahead is basically the short answer here while I'm doing this. If I'd done a racetrack, would have probably been a better choice, but never mind. He'll be down in a minute and then we can go. We can't do anything until the big tractor on the butterfly mowers finishes, so because we need him to pull the forage wagon. So what we might do... Okay, you can go to nearest and go. You shouldn't catch him as quickly now. And what we need, if we go to the store, there is still no sign. See, that Volta would be lovely. That would be an awesome pickup. If it hangs around long enough for us to turn this field's grass into silage, we might just about get there. G'day, Cranky. Welcome along. But what we need from here is some silage additive. Youch, it's expensive, but we're going to need it. And we are going to need some more seed to be able to seed this field. How much seed to put corn in this field? Corn in field, which one is it? 68. $5,000 litres at least. So let's go for 6 bags of seed, I guess. Lurking is fine, Cranky. Perfectly acceptable. So let's go for 6 bags. Well, let's go for 7 bags of seed. We're just going to have to wait for the minute for our a little conveyor for the for emptying the silo. I'm just going to have to put up with doing it manually for the minute, unless we can pick up a contract. That's the other alternative. Maybe there's a contract on offer. Fertilizing. Everybody wants fertilizing. There is a weeding contract. I don't believe we own a weeder, but some of these weeding contracts actually look lucrative. Small weeds. They're all small weeds. Maybe the trick is, because weeders aren't necessarily expensive, maybe the trick is to take the opportunity to buy a weeder, even though it wasn't really in our plan. Because we do not have a weeder, right? Oh, thanks, Cranky. Yeah, well, I can ultimately see us needing a hoe. But what I was more thinking was, if we picked up something like this little weeder for $9,500, which we could afford, it only needs 60 horses to pull it, and we could go and knock off a couple of those weeding contracts, which would get the money back pretty quickly. That one's only 6 meters. What are you? 9 meters would be even better. It's 18,000. We could afford that. It'd be much faster. Demands and priorities. I think we take this one. I reckon we buy one of those. And then we go into the contract list and we look for small weeds. I think we accept. Small weeds, accept. Let's do the big ones first to get the money back on our weeder. And then we'll see how we go. Now, 90 horses, which tractors will pull it? That's the interesting test. I can't never remember the horsepowerage of our fleet. So the 5465. So the little ones won't. Okay, so we've got 2 tractors that'll pull it, but we could send the 5465 over to pick it up as soon as we're finished windrowing. It's the 5465 we've got on the windrower. That's looking like a plan. And the big upside of that plan is that also then gets us another piece of equipment that we're going to need, because we'll cultivate this and drop the corn in it, and then of course we're going to get weeds. So, because I don't believe we have a drill. No, we don't. We're planting, so our planter is just this guy. It's going to take a long time to plant this field. So one of the things we might find is we just don't get this field fully planted. Which then begs the question, if we think that's a risk, what's our planting windows look like? Yeah, so we've only got till the end of May. So what might be clever then, given we're planning to use the corn for chaff anyway, a clever approach may be to not seed it completely. In fact, just divide it in half, leave the grass in the western half, for instance, and just plant out corn in the eastern half. And that will give us less work to do, but continuity of cash flow from the grass crop. I'm planning to leave 76 in the church meadow as grass for the moment for that exact reason. So what do people think? Is that sounding like a reasonable way to go about things? Where are we up to here? Why does it feel like we're stuck again? No, it's a long field and it's taking them a while to get down there. Now, one of the reasons that I went with the, whoops. Go to, is it here? One of the reasons I went with that wages, that mod that allowed me to do the deductible wages, is because then we can use this delivery truck as a delivery truck, because this doesn't belong to the farm. But one of the things that I found was, even though it doesn't belong to the farm, if you stick it on auto drive, it charges you wages. And if I turn the wages for auto drive to 0, that affects all vehicles. So it's not a per vehicle thing. So, which is fair enough. So that was what led me down the path of coming up with the workers' wages, because what I like the idea of doing is phoning the shop up and ordering stuff, and because we're ordering quantities of things, they send a truck out to deliver it. And so the delivery truck has a park now, and there's a delivery location in our main yard, and with any luck, this should deliver. So it is a nice truck. That's why it's owned by the dealership, which is doing very well. I can't tab to it, so we'd have to find it this way. Oh, we'll see it when it gets back to the yard. Right. So put the weeder on the truck. I thought about it, and then I thought the only problem is we don't have a way to get it off at the yard that I ascribe to. And one of the fields that we've got to do the contract on, I don't know if you noticed, is field 13, and it's right beside the yard. So we would have to take the weeder back up there. That was my rationale. Sorry, I did all that in my head. So if you see the contracts we've just picked up, 13, 25, and I've lost the other one. What was the third one? Oh, 70. Which is over here somewhere. There, right beside the field. So my kind of rationale was it was a bit of a circuit to get back. Yeah, no, sorry, I should have said, John. I went through mentally the, should I put the vehicle on the truck, and dismissed it, because it's like, if I was more confident, I mean, we probably could just lift it off. And that's probably how we'll deliver the that conveyor. I didn't actually look closely at it. Can you tow that? Does anyone know if you can tow that conveyor that we're looking at? This guy here. Oh yeah. Looks like it's got a tow hitch on it. Maybe. So the truck might be able to tow that to our place. There's a ball on it. So that'll be all right. So we're coming along here. Where are they up to? Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think we're going to, with the equipment we've got, there's no way we can plant this whole field just on the experience of cutting the grass today. I mean, we're getting the job done, but we're busy. Yeah, it's also drivable. It would take forever to drive from the shop to our farm. I suppose that's the sort of job we could draw straws amongst the kids and one of them gets the fun of doing that. But right now we have to find 38,000. So what I might do is put a couple of loads in this while I think about it. Oh, you think that modded one's a bit quicker? Okay. Well, we're not buying it for its speed. We're buying it for the fact that it avoids the need to do this process. It'd probably work all right on auto drive. As long as it all depends on whether the vehicle characteristics were set up correctly. If they are, it should be fine. Here comes our delivery truck. I don't know if you spotted it just going up the lane. It should come in the front gate. It'll be interesting. Did test it, but whether I got the route in the front gate correct. Could be any tick of the clock. Yep, there's the delivery truck. Legend. And we've run out of seeds again, I think. There we go. Driver has reached the delivery spot. So you're going. Must be the seeder. It is. So we'll tootle back over. It's all happening. Fill up with you on the way past. It's one thing with all these helpers, it's a busy farm. Hogan Game Farley. Welcome along. Great to have you in. Welcome to the Putney farm on the Oaks. Plenty happening here today. Just had our deliveries, which we'll have to unload in a minute. There's a few folks there in chat. We need some seed, which we'll take that partial bag out of the shed first. We should be able to scoop that straight across. All the equipment on here is on the in-game mod hub. I think I can't think of anything. It's rare that I get something that's not. So this seeder that you're talking about is this one. The Massey. Where are we? The Agromass. So that's definitely off the mod hub. And it's working a treat on this little Massey. Just keep it fed and it tootles away all day. I'm not sure which of John, Paul, George or Ringo we've had driving it, but just about got our oats in, so that'll give us 2 fields of oats, which is pretty fair. Yeah, there is the separate Massey one. I saw all of the issues that Virtual Farmer had with it. He was using it on where are we? Nearest waypoint. Bingo. He was using it on his Addingham series, and I thought that was just a little bit of messing around. And I quite liked the look of that one. It was cheap. Okay. We're getting close to the end, which is good. Let's go. Having just put the bucket on the front loader, I now need the hook to unload, or the pallet forks to unload the truck. So let's take the bucket off. And there's a better look at that truck, Farm Sim Brisco. I thought it was the right sort of look for the dealership to have for its deliveries. Struck me that I've seen plenty of that sort of vehicle tootling around regional UK. Oh, that's good to know, John. Thank you. There's every chance one of the mods he was using was conflicting with it, because he likes his manual attach and some of those other mods, which is more power to him. I don't feel the need to get out and manually attach each piece of equipment, but I understand. Oops. Try not to put it under the tray. Let's come above the tray. It's a heavy. Why do you not want to? Why are you still going forwards? Oh, probably because of weight, but if I lift you up, tilt you forward, you should now drive. What is going on here? Those forks are really annoying. Okay, well, we've got it off. Can't work out if it's the forks that are the problem. Is the Oaks map? It's not the map. Farm Sim Brisco is absolutely not the map. I have trouble with these all but forks, but at the time I was setting up this, part of it's a weight problem on the tractor for that container because it is heavy, I'll give it that, but part of it's just like these Albert pallet forks give me issues. Is the Oaks map in game? No. So the I assume you mean the mod hub. No. So to get the Oaks map, you need to go to Farm Sim Brisco's itch page, which is in the description for the stream, I believe. Alternatively, Cranky might, if he's not busy, might be able to post it in the chat. Don't have a clever key arrangement to be able to do that. It is definitely PC only, so that's the other constraint. Hogan game failing. If you are on a console, unfortunately, it's not going to work for you. Because it's a big map, but it's a terrific map. If you're on PC, go for it. It's fabulous. As you can see, we're having a great time. Yeah, that's good advice, Farm Sim Brisco. That's definitely the way to do it. Oh, let's try tilt in the correct direction. Thanks, Cranky. So there you go. Anyone in chat? Hogan, if you that's what you want, you can go and have a look at that one. Just understand that you won't find the Putneys on the map. You'll have to use your imagination. Three to go. If we just pull them off here. We can not do that. Delivery drivers getting a bit cranky. waiting in the yard, not known for their patience the world over, delivery drivers. I'm just trying to remember, Cranky, what the issue was that caused that. I had that at the beginning. If memory serves, when I went to version 5, that issue went away. So whatever the fix was done in version 4 or 5, that sorted that out. I had that problem right from the beginning. So version 1 and 2 and 3, that was my main issue. In fact, that was my only issue. And so the other thing I fixed up here, if you don't use it, so you'll see that the parking symbol is lit, and so now I should just hit park, and the delivery truck, all being well, fingers crossed, should go back to the yard and park in the garage. Assuming he can actually get out the gate. Bit tight. Oh, that was the other thing that I learnt about autodrive, that we won't try it today. I might see if I can set it up in another episode, but if you have here one of the things about folders, if you, for instance, so I've got my 3 bunkers set up as destinations in autodrive. If, for argument's sake, that was one big bunker over there, and therefore those 3 points were spread across the bunker, I could put them in a single folder, and then using one of these advanced autodrive settings, I can't remember which one it is, set the folder as the destination and put it on looping, and autodrive will automatically deliver evenly across all of the points that are in the folder, which I thought was very cool. And I could see a fairly specialized scenario that you would use such a thing. But for instance, if you've got 2 silos, 2 medium-sized silos in your yard, you could get crop delivered to both, for instance. If you've got a distribution and a silo and you want the crop split between them, then put them in the same folder, and it doesn't matter physically where they are, autodrive will sort it out. So I just thought it was a really neat feature that I was completely unaware of. So before I go, yes, I can. I've still got a few more minutes today. Let's go down there right now, John. So you want me to go to the sugar plant, which is, so which point. British sugar beet only. Teleport to the sugar plant in the south. See if you can see the drop-off marker. For sugar itself, what am I? So, that's the sugar beet drop. What am I looking for? I'll turn markers on so that if you happen to spy what it is that you want. Zone markers are on. This is the sugar beet drop point. And it's showing on my map because that's what I clicked on wherever we are here. British sugar beet only. At the mill? Oh, the production. So that's going to be over here somewhere. That's the train. Where are we here? I've not been down this. That's all the train over there, isn't it? That's the sugar factory. Behind the wall. There's nothing showing up. Hang on, let me just... There's nothing. Oh, there it is. You can just see it. It's partially so the grate. It's actually there's lower ground below, and so it's partially obscured under the grate. If that's the trigger you're looking for. I can't. I'm not in a vehicle, so I can't activate it. There is a marker there though. Definitely a marker, you can see it. It looks like it, because the ground slopes down here into the pit. So in order, you've lowered the ground in order to put the grate in. My tip is it's on the ground underneath. So, is that what you were looking for? Looks like there's a little bit of funky texture on the outside too. There's a sort of a funny lump there. Lots of trucks been dropping. Right, so... And it might, so because the trigger's on lower ground level, that could make it worse. And the fact that there's just, I don't know if you can pick it in the vid, there's a lip that actually raises just on the outside of the trigger here. So if you've got a trailer with a you know, the combination of trailer and the lower drop point could make it just a little tricky in some situations. I can imagine. Now, the problem that you're talking about, Cranky, because I'm on 1.5, and I did have the problem of if I clicked anything in here, it would crash. Now, I absolutely went to a new save and moved my stuff across because, well, when I got set up. But so this is a 1.5 base, and as you can see, I can move around, where I was definitely experiencing prior to 1.5 the symptom that you describe. Oh, goody, goody, goody. So let's just run back around. Let's turn you off. Oh, I'm in the wrong tractor, that's why. Get out. I want to be in that tractor. And I want to unfold, because I want to run up the side here. Put you down, turn you on. What I would suggest you do before you make that decision is just check, just start a new save on a separate save game and check that the symptom is gone. Because that way you can eliminate, like, solve your problem first before you commit to moving off your current save. Because if it is just a mod conflict that's adding to it, you might be able to sort that out first. That would just be my tip. Let's just run across here. Okay, so we've done pretty well here. We've got all the grass cut. Windrow will be finished shortly. Let's just zip back and do that. I could do that if I was really crazy. So it's not unreasonable that somewhere down the track here, so if we think about the Putney situation, and you know, they're now starting to get on track with their with all their activities. Now what do we got here? We need something needs a truckload of maintenance. We're not going to do that at the moment. We'll leave the equipment over where we can wash it. That looks like it seriously needs a wash. But let's imagine in a couple more streams they're feeling slightly more confident about their financial situation, which I think is reasonable, and they're going to get towards the end or to the next harvest season, and a whole bunch of contracts are going to come up. Sugar beet's going to get planted, potatoes may get planted. Now they don't have any of the equipment And so it's not unreasonable that in order to pursue those contracts... Oh, you ran out of seed again, thank you. That they might... Well, let's do something clever here. Well, potentially clever. Let's even do something even cleverer and put the additive in before we go into the field. So I'm thinking that ultimately we might end up in the sugar beet or potato business. But the challenge that they have to solve first, they've got the manpower to do it, is they have to get their equipment up to the level where that's going to work. Okay, so now we've got the correct course set. We want to go to first waypoint. When that field was... yes, sorry, you're quite correct. So the reason that those headlands are like that was that we ran out of seed and time before the window for planting grass closed in November, and we just couldn't finish it. Now, what you want to do is turn you off. And will you... Let's see here. We want... Load and deliver, don't I? Yes. And I'm loading in field 70, 60, CP1, 68 will do. Is that going to work? I'm going to deliver into bunker 2, and I'm going to deliver grass. The course I need to have is... Let's see what it does. I need to do it the other way around, don't I? I need to start it in course play. Which is here. Bingo, bango, bongo. And that one. Yeah. Right. So now we can... send you... I'll just park you out of the way for the minute. You can go back to the main yard. That's a good spot for you to go. And you... No, unload you. Right. I didn't know there was a track out that end of the field. How about that? Things you learn. Let's... Still need to take auto drive out of edit mode. I'm not in it. I'm not in edit mode. The courseplay icon's active. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I turned the advanced HUD on. That's Mark showed me how to do that the other day. Peter, welcome along. The bigger issue that we'll have anyway, Cranky, is I'm pretty sure as it gets close to full, we're going to have a problem with horsepower. So I might end up having to do it manually. I was just curious to see if I could actually set it up and it would go over there. So let's just see how we go. Oh, look, my courses aren't working too bad. The little tractor found its way back. So we need to move him out of the way because otherwise we risk conflict. We can wash equipment later. I am very well, Peter. It's great to see you here. Thank you for dropping by. We're having lots of fun today with auto drive. We've got our workers working. Now, our seeding of oats has completed successfully. How about that? So we've got 2 fields of oats, so we will get a crop come harvest time, so that's a good sign. Looks like we missed a couple of little bits over here, so let's just deal with those. No, we didn't. So what we missed was plow. I didn't plow by the looks. Company here. I think that's the issue. It won't. I haven't ploughed this section of the field for whatever reason. That's okay. That can wait till next year. It's what happens when you get helpers that are learning how to farm. Entirely reasonable in Putneyville. And when you compare where we're going to be this harvest season to where we were last harvest season, it's chalk and cheese. So coming along nicely. Pop this guy over in the seed shed for now. Now you don't have enough horsepower to go and do the weeding contracts. Yes, I remember. I remember. That's a very good point. And sometimes it drags the other texture across. Now, where were we up to here? Where's my windrower? Looks like he got hit by the forage wagon. Never mind. Forage wagon's getting fairly full there, but you can see what the problem is. We're just way down on horsepower. I'll just let it... No, I'm not even sure it's worth struggling through. Once it gets over the rise, it toodles along. Right, so just thinking, it's been a busy morning. I've got a bunch of things done. I'm keen to get a load in the clamp before we finish off today, but if people have got things to go and do, I perfectly understand. Let's just grab a couple of those lumps there. Spin back around. We've got to send this tractor so we get it fueled up to the store to pick up the weeder. Because then we can get some cash back in the door. Because of course now that we've set the kids' wages, we're going to get a big overnight bill. Big negative. So our roll over the month costs will be in the order of 14 or 15,000 now, I suspect. Whilst we've got the silage there to cover it, it's just the longer we go without a tool to... Now I'm going to leave this guy out over here for two reasons. One, if it rains it'll get washed, and two, next month we're going to need to cut that grass anyway, so... Now you need maintenance, you're just going to have to wait. Fill you up with fuel. Now we can dispatch you up to the store to get the weeders sorted. You want to go to, what did I do? Dealership. Just the dealership. Are you going to do a loop? Let's not do that. Just put you closer to the gate. He'll figure it out. Now, I'm more confident that it's behaving properly and that it will find solutions. Now, how are we going here? Well, you're picking stuff up. We just want to find out if you can make it all the way back to the bunker. That's what we've got to do while we're getting organised. Got to move the truck out of the bunker because it will be in the way. I'll put the truck on this side. That should be fine. No, I'm not going to use this in the clamp. I just want to move him back out of the way. So that we've just got a bit of a clear area here in which to operate. Righto, so stuff to move around. So where are we up to? We're finding a very interesting path back to the dealership. That tells me there's if you put auto loop up, you'll see there'll be a collision. I will have a look at that in just a sec. We're going to follow him in, so we will see it, but I suspect I know what you mean. The unload routes for the bunkers don't actually come right into the yard, into that loop section in the yard. They come off early. I'll show you in a second. Oh, just enough room to turn around. Good to know. Okay, we'll leave him go because he's still got another couple of... So if we have a look at the routes, that's not probably a good vehicle to look from. So there's a lot of routes there, but let's get a tractor. So you can see the main line into the yard. Is this one over here. So that's the main road in. And the bunker 3 unload actually comes off here. So you can see I've set that to be a local road so that it doesn't distract anything else. So he drives just up to here and backs in. And whilst the exit is, it takes him around the loop. So you're right, the exit will be a collision, the entrance won't be. But yeah, that I've got that delivery stuff is in the way. So we need to be moving that. I suspect that's what you're talking about. And then bunker 2 comes off just actually earlier to get over. Comes off the same route as bunker 1. So I think it'll work. I believe I've tested it a little. Let's turn you off. Let's put you back in the shed. Let's finish putting the seed away, which gets the field. Oh, get off. Then we'll get rid of these. Thanks very much for coming along, Farm Sim Brisco. Really enjoyed having you in. We'll see you next time. I'll be finishing up shortly. I just want to just get this grass into the bunker. And we'll get these out of the way. Rightio. So, hey, Jason McKinley, welcome along. The man who's been very busy at work. Great to see you, Jason. Hope things are all good in your part of the world. Now, I'm not going to try and use the pellet forks again with this. Where am I going to put that? I reckon a good spot for that is over here beside the bunker. Yes, time zones are, well, I used to, so most of you know I worked in India for a couple of years, and the job that I had there was looking after North America largely. So I had a big team in India, and of course they worked for the most part normal working hours. So I had a normal day, you know, 8 till 6 in India, and then of course all of my dealings with the US, then the US wanted to deal in their daytime, so that sort of pretty much took 6 until midnight. And my boss in the US took great delight in organizing his monthly team meetings for 11 PM Indian time, so he was just a treasure. So yes, I understand time zones. Okay, so we've got back here. The other thing we needed to check up on here, so you'll remember I sent the truck back to park before, and hopefully when we come into the yard, we will see, there you go, the truck successfully parked in the shed, as if by magic. So that's the delivery truck's park over there. And now we can take our weeder. Looks like Penny got the job of coming over to select the weeder. Yep. But you've only got a couple of months until it gets easier, doesn't it? Because you'll have Europe, or is summertime worse for you? Summertime's probably worse for you, isn't it? European summer, that is. So let's go to field 13. Can you get to field 13 out there? Probably not. That's the BGA, isn't it? The big advantage I had was that I was living alone, so I wasn't trying to coordinate a family around that activity, which that's when it gets really hard. Now, how do I get into this field? Yes, it's funny how you look forward to those little things. Little changes that most people don't pay any attention to. Somewhere around here, there's got to be an entrance into this field. So we made the decision along the way today. We've purchased a weeder because there are some weeding contracts that look like they're fairly reasonably priced. The auction is still going. That's the grass field that we're not going to buy. So let's whack our weeder down here and see if we can get course play sorted. Create a job up here. I'd like it to finish there. Start. Open the generator. 9 meters it is. 6 headlands. Yeah, 6 headlands is good. Start in the center. Generate the course. Okay, that's looking fair. Start the job. Oh, stop it, stop it. I'll drive you over myself. Let's see. We want first waypoint. Right about there. Absolutely. I'm not going to worry about the fact that you're not running in the same direction. Are you actually weeding? How does that not look like? That's interesting. Remove the small weeds using a weeder. We'll let it go for a little bit. But that's looking awfully to me like it wants a hoe. Oops, wrong key. Let's go back. Right, so you filled up. You appear to be departing the field, which is the answer we want. But you're using an exit, which is not what I intended. Because I set you to the field 68 north exit, would that be the reason? Let's see what happens. I should have put you to the south exit, shouldn't I? We'll ignore the fact that he's going through the hedge at the moment, because if I'd chosen the exit point at the other end of the field, we wouldn't have had that problem, I don't think. I want to let him go because I just want to see if I don't intervene, will it figure it out on its own? It has filled the trailer though, which is promising. Yes, the no collision hedges help. And he is gradually getting closer to the yard. Nah. It's stuck, I think. Let's try. Because it's kicked itself out of course plate. Let's try field 68 south. Alessandro Pereira, welcome. Let's just see if this helps. We're just experimenting a little bit with course play, but with an underpowered tractor is not helping our experience. At least now we're heading to the correct end of the fields. So there is a chance we'll make it. Yeah, that Vulture would be lovely. In fact, anything with more horsepower would be lovely. We'll get there. We'll get there. Make and do. I mean, we get all the grass off this field just based on that. We've hardly scratched the surface and we've already got 100,000 litres. We'll get 1 million litres of grass off this field. That's going to make a tremendous amount of silage. Don't go left. Don't go left. Why would you go left? You made it to the south point. Where are you going to go now? You've turned course play back on, but you're full. Okay. I don't think it's safe to assume you're stuck. Whoa. 2,500. Is that acres or hectares? Probably acres, I'm guessing. Let's see if I can get you to unload. Let's see if we get it in. Ah, he's on the wrong course. That's the only reason he would turn like that. Take you back to the gate. Take you back to the gate, young man. Let's try that approach one more time. It's the only downside with having lots of routes into the yard and starting, you don't know which waypoint he's actually connected to. Just avert your eyes for the moment while we do a U-turn through the hedge. Oh, there's a bit of a bump there. Yeah, that's exactly right, John. He had. It's looking a bit more promising. It's the right trajectory. The arrow's still looking to the next waypoint. Will he drive far enough up it? That's always a chance that because I didn't actually test it with the trailer on. Has he got enough room to swing the back of the trailer around there? Combination of horsepower and the turn, the answer is no. Okay, I've got some work to do on that route. I just need to extend the end of that line out a little bit further so that he gets the back of the trailer around to that point before he starts to reverse. And then of course the trailer with more horsepower will get us into less trouble. But there we go. So let's unload you. Drop some grass in that. Might as well reverse over at a fraction. No, not enough horses to push the trailer up the hill. So that's been a productive day. We've got some grass in the clamp. Let's just go and check our weeder and see if we're actually making any progress on this contract. And that's really annoying. So the answer is no, even though the contract says remove the small weeds using a weeder, it actually means use a hoe, which is a bugger. So if I have a look at field 13, whoops, that's the one I wanted. We're having no effect here at all. Which is interesting. I will do some experiments and get to the bottom of it. Oh, that's why. Is it trying to plant into it? I reckon it's the device. It thinks it's trying to seed grass. It is in weeders. And I thought I'd just bought the weeder. Okay, I'm going to have to do some investigation because that's definitely, we bought that as a weeder. I wasn't expecting that it was grass at all. Whoops, what am I doing here? That's what we bought. So I will sort it out. It does happen to seed. Right, additionally you can seed with this tool. I'll have to figure it out. But for now, I think we're going to have to pause here. And I'll be back on here on the Oaks on Monday evening Oz time, Monday morning UK and US. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great weekend, everyone. Catch you next time. See ya.